Classification of motor skills. Muscular involvement. Gross skills. Gross skills involve large muscle movements where there is little concern with precision. Examples are running, swimming, and hammer throwing. Fine skills. Fine skills involve more intricate movements using small muscle groups. They usually involve accuracy and emphasize hand-eye coordination. Example of this would be the wrist/finger action or a spin bowler in cricket. Environmental influence. Open skills. Open skills involve movement skills that are affected by the environment. They are predominantly perceptual and involve decision making. Movements have to be adapted to suit the situation. They are generally externally paced in an environment that is unpredictable. Examples of this would be a pass in a rugby or netball game. Closed skills are movement skills that are not affected by the environment. In these skills we aim to do the same set technical model at each performance, and they are therefore habitual. They are usually self-paced, with the performer knowing exactly what they have to do. Example of this would be a tennis serve. Continuity. Discrete skills. Discrete skills are movement skills that have a clear beginning and clear end. If this single skill is to be repeated, it must start again. An example of this would be a penalty in a football game. Serial skills are movement skills that have a number of discrete elements that are put together in a definite order to make a movement or sequence. Examples of this would be gymnastics or trampolining. Continuous skills are movement skills that have no definite end or beginning. The end of one cycle is the start of the next. The movement skill usually has to be repeated several times for the skill to be meaningful. An example of this would be running, cycling, or swimming. Pacing. Self-paced. The performer determines when the movement skill starts together with the rate at which it proceeds. Self-paced skills are normally closed skills. Example of this would be a high jump. Externally paced. The control of the movement skill is not turned by the performer but by the environment. In many cases it involves opponents to whom the performer has to react. An example of this would be a pass in a football game. Difficulty. A simple skill would have very low levels of some aspects identified above. Performers would have little information to process and few decisions to make, as well as a small number of subroutines in which the speed and timing would not be critical. An example of this would be swimming or sprinting. A complex skill. This skill will have many subroutines where speed and timing are critical, together with significant use of feedback. An example of this would be a tennis serve or a somersault. Organisation. Low organisation skills are made up of subroutines that are easily separated and practiced by themselves. Having been practiced separately, the subroutines can be put back together in the whole skill quite easily. An example of this would be trampolining or gymnastic sequence. High organisation skills are movement skills where subroutines are very closely linked together and very difficult to separate without disrupting the skill. Consequently, highly organised skills are usually practiced as a whole. An example of this would be a cartwheel or a golf swing.